Greetings everyone, I'm Dr. J. I'll be honest, I don't know how to feel about this or really know where to start. I've tried to put my thoughts together a couple of times now and it's way past my bedtime when I'm drafting this attempt, but I guess that's what serious news does to you. So, for those of you who are just now finding out about this, on May 24th, 2018, it was announced that Totalbiscuit had passed away. It's news that undoubtedly hit a lot of us really hard. Granted, I haven't kept up with his content all that regularly in the last couple of years due to matters that are pointless to discuss right now, so in some respect I'd like to think I've distanced myself from the subject, that I've already moved on in some way, but the reality is that it still stings, in large part because he was the first person I ever subscribed to on YouTube, and has had a major impact on my life due to everything he did and stood for within the gaming industry. I can't pinpoint exactly when I began watching him. All I remember for certain is seeing the occasional video from him and moving on, but eventually it was either a commentary or some industry news or a particular channel update that convinced me to finally hit the subscribe button. All I remember is that he was a figure that presented himself in an upfront and professional manner, and seemed like someone whose opinion on the games industry I could trust, an opinion that would be vindicated over the next few years. What I can say for certain is when I was introduced to the podcast. When I first saw it, I stayed the hell away, because the idea of sitting down and listening to someone and his friends talk about a subject for 3 hours really didn't seem appealing. Back then, I was still in the mindset that YouTube was mainly for entertainment, for smaller videos that were meant to be funny first and foremost. Especially with gaming content, the most successful channels were either Let's Players or reviewers, both of which tended to focus on being entertaining, even if they were also informative. And yet this time was different. As toward the start of 2013, I had been closing in on my Eagle Scout and finally got to the point where I needed to sew my merit badges onto a sash. It would mean sitting in my room dealing with sewing for a while because I had put it off for so long, but on a whim I decided to turn on the podcast and found it to be really good. In time, that would give way to a habit where I would see a video appear in my subscription feed, pull up a game like Hearthstone, Torchlight 2, or whatever roguelike or Dota-style game I was into at the time, and just sit back and either listen intently to a game I might not even like or purchase, or be entertained by other content. In the case of the former, he was a consistent figure whose judgment I could depend on, as despite the fact that we had completely different opinions on roguelikes, I knew that going in and could accurately judge whether a game was worth looking into. I can point to multiple games that I bought as a result of his videos, including one that would lead my father to buying one himself, namely Flying Wild Hog's Shadow Warrior.
That as well. Oh man. This game is phenomenal. It is so good. So very, very good. I love it. I just take his legs. Oh my god, it's so great. It's so much fun. I'm so glad this exists. So many FPS taking themselves way too seriously, and then we get Rise of the Triad and then the beta for bloody Shadow Warrior all within a couple of weeks of each other. What a joyous time to be a PC FPS fan. Jeez. This is a thing. It really, really is. Oh, man. Shadow Warrior, ladies and gentlemen. It is coming your way from Flying Wild Hog. And you should be damn thankful that it is. Oh, this is the new painkiller, folks. This right here is the new damn painkiller.
And even when things were crazy towards the middle of 2014, he was inadvertently my entry into that particular barrel of insanity, but was also a point of reference that I could depend on to make sense of it. Despite the fact that doing so made him no friends within the traditional games media, he stayed committed to his desire for a higher standard of ethics within the industry itself and the media built around it. Hell, you could argue that his presence in the industry spawned that sense of maturity, that we need to hold the companies and personalities working in the medium accountable when they screw up. A fact which, despite the issues he had interacting with social media, would remain a constant throughout his YouTube career. When it comes to entertainment though, he never presented himself as something funny or comedic, but due to a strong voice and the ability to talk on the fly, his content revolving around games like Hearthstone was really fun to watch and listen to. My personal favorite among those days was when he created a deck with the sole intent of throwing as much randomness into the game as humanly possible, which led to some really hilarious moments.
Alright. Ooh, Ysera. Very fun. Okay, because that reverses... Well, it doesn't reverse the opportunity, obviously. It negates the potential of getting... Oh, wow. Attack a llama bot. That's not going to be useful. It stops me from getting Ysera. I might still not get it. Oh. Oh, yeah. Well, it was almost a guaranteed yes, Sarah. For double alarm bots and potential nonsense. It's possible. Rag, and second one, don't pull the alarm bot. Don't, oh, god damn it! Oh, that's infuriating. Okay. Let's see what the alarm bot brings. Oh, come on! Randuin Rin indeed. Against someone that doesn't have Ysera. Unfortunately. Why do you keep doing that? I should just put one alarm bot in the deck to make sure that doesn't happen. This is dumb. Alright, alarm bot, get me something useful. Okay, this is fixed. This is bloody fixed.
More importantly, that would only be amplified whenever he played with and against his friends, especially where board games were concerned. Secret Hitler, anyone?
Alright, cool. So now we know, well, the fascists now know who the fascists are and also who Hitler is. Hitler does not know who the fascists are, and the liberals don't know shit. Okay? As well as it should be, and that's going to get taken out of context, isn't it? Alright. First things first.
Trump 2016.
Indeed, the liberals don't know shit.
And on reflecting on all of this, I'm realizing now just how separated from that I had become over the last couple of years, and also how much I missed it. In some ways, it was a simpler time for me, when my biggest concern was not flunking out of college while still keeping track of an industry I love. The whole reason why this channel even exists is because I was inspired to try my hand at critiquing video games, and while I'd like to think I have my own way of doing things, I'd be lying if I said he wasn't a strong influence. More importantly, his content encouraged me to look at the wider industry and expand my horizons beyond what they had been when I was younger, and that's something that I'll always be grateful for. With that said, I could probably spend the next half an hour rambling on the subject, but for the sake of brevity, I think that's enough. If any of his friends or family see this, then let me personally say that I'm sorry for your loss, and my heart and prayers go out to all of you. No matter what comes next, we'll be here for you. And as for the man himself, may he rest in peace.